What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, and it's also AEW night. I was supposed to come on here with Rob from Fightful, but things got messed up. We had to reschedule. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll have like a special show tomorrow at 4:00. So if you guys want to tune in tomorrow at 4, me and Rob will go over Crown Jewel a little bit more. I'll get his take on it and everything. But I still wanted to jump on here and shoot the shit with everybody and see how everybody's doing this Wednesday. Dave is in the chat right now. Definitely go check out Dave from the Pro Show. He is doing AEW Dynamite with him and Hazel. Hopefully I'll probably jump on with them for like an hour before I have to, go to that busy thing that I call work. A lot of news. It doesn't even look like we're gonna end up getting Crown Jewel on Saturday because there's been reports that there's a lot of stuff going on in Saudi Arabia right now, and they are on high alert. So I'm kind of wondering whether or not are we actually gonna get this pay-per-view or not. Normal Guy's in the building. What's going on, Normal Guy? Yeah, Ashley in the building. Everybody's showing love. It's our show. I would love for you to come on. Definitely. How's everybody's Wednesday going? What is going on? What are you guys doing? Are you guys hitting a happy hour? Are you guys getting ready for AEW Dynamite? A lot of news going around right now. I was seeing about CM Punk. CM Punk might be end up going back to WWE. It is not an official confirmation yet, but it looks like he is, completely done with AEW. Crazy news. Yeah, definitely crazy news. I'm kind of wondering whether or not, like, if CM Punk decides to go back to WWE, how is this going to play out? Because this will be the second AEW talent to leave AEW. Well, he really didn't leave, but will be another AEW talent coming back to WWE. So I'm kind of wondering what is the game plan for Punk if he does return. WWE is changing all the time, So you think about the landscape of WWE, it's turning into a young man's company. They're trying to push a lot of their younger stars while still holding on to the older stars that they have. Obviously, because we see on the card where we have Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, wrestling at Crown Jewel. So, you know, for the people who are in the chat, like whether or not, like, do you want to see CM Punk in WWE, and if so, like, what exactly do you expect from CM Punk being in there? I'm hoping that it's a completely different outcome for him. Um, I don't think they're gonna like fast track him to a main event spot and put him against, like, say, like Roman Reigns, but I can see it being like a slow build for him, and maybe um, going up against a younger talent like they should have done originally in AEW. I mean, he had the feud with MJF, but it just felt like a lot of the stuff that CM Punk was doing in AEW was more like benefiting him rather than helping out the younger talent in AEW. Dave goes, if he does go back, then his words from 10 years ago mean nothing. I think that will ruin his legacy more than anything. I don't, you know what? For some people, they probably would think that it will probably ruin the things that he said that happened to him 10 years ago. But you think about it like this. Um, if you can if you could bury the hatchet with somebody, then I feel that, you know, things could be possible where you can sit there and um have good business. You know, the things that happened in the past is in the past. A lot of that regime that happened in WWE back in the day when CM Punk was there, they're not there anymore. Triple H and the rest of the people in his team are trying to build something different, build a company where people are happy to actually work there and want to elevate their status in the wrestling business. He's not a man of his word and will probably lose some credibility with a lot of fans. You know what? Not for nothing. I don't. Obviously, a lot of the diehard wrestling fans most likely will turn their back on Punk. But even now, when with the whole thing that happened with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, you've seen a lot of fans turn their back on CM Punk. You know, just because of everything that's going on, and they just feel like that he was bringing down AEW. And I know, Pro, except for you, because you were like 100% behind CM Punk. I'm a CM Punk fan. Do I think a lot of the things that he did was wrong? Yes. I was, me and you talked about this all the time, where like I would say, like, I was really bored with a lot of the things that CM Punk was doing in AEW, and I was thinking that it would be a lot different from his days in WWE. But I just felt like maybe like his days in WWE was like way better than the stuff that he did on AEW. So I mean, like I said, only time will tell. Let's see what happens. It's just a rumor for right now. We don't know exactly what else is going on. I'm sitting here on Twitter right now. I'm checking things. Um, Fightful reported that Triple H is in talks with NXT Europe as far as recruiting more amateur athletes to start building an NXT Europe. We know before that they were trying to build an NXT Japan, which is great because I heard that they were going to start working with New Japan. We've seen the Great Muta and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to have a match. I believe in another month or so. That was advertised. So that's a great bridging gap for WWE. I think that that's something that Triple H wanted to do for the longest, and it's starting to come to fruition. I know other people were probably against it, and they didn't want to, have that sort of like publicity, attached to them. But then you have shows like in Saudi Arabia where like since 2018, every single time that they go there, something is happening. Look at the stuff that's going on now, where like it's a possibility where we may not even have Crown Jewel this Saturday, and if that's the case, then save all this for Raw, or go to the Performance Center and do something there. Like, WWE has the money and the resources to put on an amazing show here in the States. Obviously, we've seen that with the Thunderdome era of WWE, where they were still putting on good quality matches um, through the pandemic. And we got to see a lot of the stuff that was a lot of good matches. We got to see Drew McIntyre. We got to see the elevation of Roman Reigns. So let's see what happens. I mean, this Saturday, most likely I'll be. Hopefully, I get to watch um, Crown Jewel if it goes down. If not, then we'll watch it together later on during the daytime. But either way, Crown Jewel looks amazing on paper. I want to see how it is once we get it all together. I got to see things I didn't want to see on the Thunderdome era. Girls picking their noses. Yeah, I mean, you think about it like this, Pro. That when that was something that was new to that company, like AEW and WWE, to put on shows where um, there wasn't anybody there, or they only had like the crew that was there. So you think about it like this, and like they worked things out over time and got it down to a science where that they made everything right. There were a lot of hiccups. I remember the when Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks was wrestling each other, and they thought they went to commercial break, but really they still had the feed going to the to other countries, and you just seen them walking around the ring and dancing and stuff like that, which was hilarious. If you could go check that out on YouTube if you missed that one. LaFlocka's in the house. Yeah, what is up? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Just going over. I'm just shooting the shit here until about 7:30. Then I'm gonna, jump up out of here. More news of Vince McMahon. It says WWE sources say Vince McMahon is done. This is in his previous roles, and he is not coming back, which is good. I don't think that we need Vince McMahon back in WWE. I think him retiring is a smart move, not only for the company but for himself. LaFlocka's like, "What's up?" Oh shit, I missed it. Of course. It says so I'm gonna read this from Fightful. Special investigation into the Vince McMahon allegations. Misconduct is complete with WWE, which is really crazy to me because they said that they spent $19.4 million. $19.4 million to do this investigation. I think, for me personally, I think there was just a waste. Okay, we all know that Vince McMahon got some pussy and he paid whoever it is off. Obviously, that's just something that happens throughout time. But it says the company has announced today that a special committee has disbanded the following completion of the investigation. Vince McMahon can effectively excuse control over our affairs was mentioned in the company's filing on Wednesday, which led some reading that to believe that he could possibly head back to the company. But obviously, it looks like we're not going to see Vince McMahon back. One WWE spokesperson was contacted for comment and said that Vince McMahon was done. If you don't know what done means, he's never coming back. He's sitting at home, chilling, getting paid while still watching the company grow. Triple H and several others behind that, other WWE higher ups, said that the morale in WWE over the last few months have been the highest. That can tell you something. A lot of the stuff that Vince McMahon was doing back then, a lot of people didn't like. You can see it. People were leaving. People wanted to leave. People were showing it in their work, where we were getting horrible matches because people were just really unhappy with either their booking, their name change, or not being seen on TV and just sitting back and catering. With now with Triple H in charge, they are saying that the morale is really high, which is great. You want to be in an environment where you want to kind of work, where you want to, um, you know, do these things for the fans. Because in the long run, you think about it like this: the only person that suffers at the end is the fans, because we have to sit there and watch this. It's that little kid that comes in and says that he wants to see Seth Rollins, but now Seth Rollins doesn't want to come out there and wrestle because he's really unhappy with his booking. Or it's Bailey who doesn't want to come out because she hasn't been used as much, and she, now they have her in a tag team match with God knows whoever, and she doesn't want to do that. We've seen it with Charlotte Flair. We've seen it with Ronda Rousey. We've seen it with Randy Orton. The list goes on and on. So I'm glad that those things are starting to pick up. We talked about CM Punk, whether or not he's going to come back to WWE. Just going through stuff here. MLW it looks like they're pushing a lot more of their talent. I'm really happy for MLW. I love watching wrestling in general, not just WWE and AEW. Um, you know, MLW, GCW, you know, um, Bleaks Club, the Battle Club Pro, like all these different companies that are outside of the major companies itself, like Impact Wrestling and so forth. Like I just love seeing their products. So it looks like Alex Kane is going to continue getting a push. He's one of their major stars in MLW. The Brilliant Bulldogs, they've been impressing people. If you haven't checked out this tag team, you need to do so. Brilliant guy. Tom Bellington, who is the nephew of the Dynamite Kid, has been looking chef's kiss in the ring. Jacob Fatu is another person that's there. Brian Pillman Jr., who's an AEW talent, he's been there. You want to support these guys. Yeah, definitely Alex Hammerstone, definitely beast. When I've seen his work too, but definitely something where you want to look outside the box when it comes to wrestling. I was looking over some stuff there. R-Truth got hurt. He had a match with Jordan Waller in NXT over was it yesterday? It looks like they went for a move on the outside, and R-Truth went to go do a springboard move. He landed wrong. It looks like he's going to be out for a couple of months. So speedy recovery to him. GCW announcing that they're going to be a part of Fit Plus, which is great because now we can have like a legit place where we can see GCW programming without going all over the place. R-Truth finally showing his age. And let me tell you something. For a guy that age, he is in phenomenal shape. I mean, that can happen to anybody. Look at The Rock. Look at Psycho Sid. Look at Bret Hart. Look at Shawn Michaels. I mean, the list goes on of guys and girls who were in phenomenal shape or at a young age, middle age, and they get hurt very quickly. You know what I mean? It's just a really messed up thing that happened to Truth. Speedy recovery to R-Truth, and I can't wait to have him back in the ring. I was really happy because I was telling Toe the prior week was like, hey, it was good to see R-Truth on TV last week when he was up against The Miz, and not doing some ridiculous 24/7 365 matches, running around the ring trying to grab a belt that he knows should be his, and they should just retire this thing. It's funny because I go back to the GCW news where like they're gonna have like a streaming platform, and I remember that a lot of people, a lot of the GCW guys were trolling the internet and saying that they were going to be a part of the Peacock network, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're going to start working with WWE. GCW is going to change." And I was just like, man, until you get like a hard fact on this, I don't really think that this is going to happen with GCW, And sure enough, they worked the crowd, and now we're going to have GCW not on the Peacock network. They're not going to the cock, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be going someplace else, which is great for them. Going over some stuff here for before I get out of here. I'm like 21 minutes in right now. I last Monday's Raw was like their Halloween special, which was like okay in a way, but um I wish they could do better. You know, we gave Triple H enough time to give us something that we can enjoy for 3 hours. You know, for me, and I said I know, especially Toe, like when we watch this stuff and we do our Monday Night Raw watch-alongs, it's like commercial after commercial after commercial. You know, where you're just like, okay, when are you gonna give us like actual wrestling? You know, so I definitely want to see what is gonna happen to Raw moving into 2003. I'm really hoping we actually get some really good matches, you know, involved with this one. And I think that's about it. I don't want to keep, I don't want to stay on here way too long. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow I'll be back with Rob Wilkins from Fightful. We're going to be going over the card for Crown Jewel and probably maybe talk about a little bit more. If you guys don't know, he's a part of the um, coexisting with him and Maggie. They do Fightful Overbooked, so he's gonna be on tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So come back here. If you have some questions for Rob, definitely leave them in the chat or when you come in, just and we'll have a good time. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna most likely join Pro and Hazel for AEW Dynamite for the first hour, and then go to work. Guys, until next time, remember, you are the director of your life. You are the writer, you are the star, and you are the creator. Create your destiny and don't let anybody stop your dreams. Continue being blessed.